You're about to see 10 individual videos about aliens and UFOs before AI was invented. AI, I would say, mainstream, has been around since 2023, and look how far we've come in just 2 years. But technically speaking, AI has been around since 1956. It was invented by a Professor John McCarthy. He basically wanted to create a machine that could play with checkers, and he basically named it artificial intelligence. So although these videos aren't before 1956, what I'm trying to get at is they are going to be difficult to fake in comparison of what you could do nowadays, okay? Now, a lot of these still haven't debunked. Some of them, I'm not too sure. I haven't looked into the history of all of them. However, they look very intriguing. And the thing is, what I'd have to remind you is some of these videos you might think are fake. However, if we put something in front of you which was real, would you still think it was fake? Well, just listen to this video. I think it explains it. This is not one of the 10 videos, but just quickly, this explains why some people would just not, no matter what proof you give them, will not agree that these UFOs or aliens.
You ever notice how some people refuse to believe in UFOs no matter how much evidence is out there? There's a psychological reason for that, and it might not be what you think. So let's talk about it. See, it's not just about being skeptical. It's actually about how our brains are wired. There's something called cognitive dissonance, and that's when new information completely clashes with what we already believe, and our brain tries to protect us by rejecting it. And then there's something called the Semmelweis reflex, which is basically when people dismiss new ideas just because they don't match the accepted narrative. Sounds familiar, right? Because let's be real, UFOs have been made into a joke for decades. That's called the giggle factor. It makes people afraid to take it seriously because no one wants to sound crazy. But here's the wild part. What if some people reject UFO evidence not because they don't actually believe it, but because deep down they do? And the idea that we're not alone is just too much for them to handle. What do you think?
I saw that a while ago and I thought that was an interesting video because sometimes, is it like banging your head against the wall? Will people just not believe no matter what proof or evidence you put in front of them? And I'm sure there's going to be people in the comments now literally typing, no Ben, I just want real proof. I want real evidence. And you're going to get some saying, number 3, number 2, number 1 was debunked. That's fake. It's clearly this. Or is it? Or is that you just not wanting to believe? I want to believe! Anyway, let's get into the top 10. Don't take that too, I don't want you to get all defensive over that, okay? Because you're probably not one of those people, okay? You're probably a very open-minded individual that wants to believe if you get enough proof. Don't get too offended, okay? So the first video, although I've shown you before many moons ago, it keeps on getting sent to me. And to this day, people have still not managed to debunk it or have a half-decent explanation of what it could be other than a UFO with ET in the cockpit. Now that sentence alone just sounds so far-fetched. A UFO and you can actually see ETs in the cockpit. But believe me, when you see this video, you'll understand. It was in Istanbul around about 2008. Check this out.
Yine buldum ben. Yine buldum. Yine buldum onu. Lan nedir bunlar ya? Arkadaş nedir bunlar ya? Böyle bir şey var mı? Bak yapma. Ne haber? Allah kahretsin. Bu ne ya? Vay 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 vay.
So what do you think of that, mate? For me, I think that is it's so genuine. I think that, like, no one's come forward and said it's fake yet. People have just tried to analyze this left, right, center, willy-nilly, and no one's come up with any sort of logical explanation other than, yes, it's a UAP with an ET. Now, questionably, the ET in the cockpit could have been some sort of optical illusion with like reflections and stuff on the glass or on the window, whatever it was. Maybe, but you still can't argue that's an amazing video. Now, here's a video that is very short, but it's very intriguing. It's a family just taking a quick snapshot, a quick video in Japan, and something just flies over their head, which is like your stereotypical UFO saucer. Just going back to the beginning where, like, you know, people might be in denial of what they're actually seeing, and will damn like refuse that it's a UFO. Just looked into comments, and one individual said it's a bird. That this is a bird. Have you ever seen any bird that looks like that before? No, me neither. Anyway, now talking about AI, this video, in fact, my wife sent me because I thought it was so interesting. This is one which I'm on the fence. But am I on the fence about this one? Because it's just so mind-boggling, so clear that it can't be real. It can't be. It's too clear. It's too cliche. So this is why I said to at the beginning of the video, if I was to give you real footage, would we just say that it's not real because it's too clear? Can we ever be happy? Listen to this, what this ET says about artificial intelligence.
Sir, he doesn't have much time. All right, okay, finally, tell me, what is this other threat?
Now, whether you think that's real or fake, like I say, I'm sort of a little bit skeptical of it just because of the mouth movements, but who am I to say? Like, you know, it looks a little bit like that, but like, I've never seen an alien that might talk like that, okay? You know? And with the voice and everything. But why I wanted to show you is because of the context of what this ET was talking about. How AI is going to be the killer of civilization, right? The killer of Earth. Because that is what a lot of people are thinking about AI. When AI gets so powerful, it no longer needs humans, or it can just turn into a sentient where it just keeps on learning by itself, doesn't need anything, connects with other AIs, and just becomes like this mother brain, right? That can just do anything, connect with anything, be anything. That's a scary concept. Now, this one I've shown you recently, it's John Lennon talking about the UFO that he saw in New York. And now, like I say, I've shown it recently, but I just thought, you know, with that type of individual, like, he doesn't have to lie for fame. He doesn't have to lie for fortune, for monetary gain. You know, he's got a lot to sort of lose with coming out and saying this. He's a public figure, right? So take a listen to this. John Lennon talking about the UFO that he saw in New York.
Up there, I saw a UFO, and it went down the river, turned right at the United Nations, turned left, and then down the river. It wasn't a helicopter, it wasn't a balloon, and it was so near.
And it looked what, sort of round, white, luminescent, and silent?
Silent, and it looked dark, like black or grey in the middle, and had white lights, just looked like light bulbs, you know? Just going off, on, blink, 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 round the bottom, and on top was a red light.
It's amazing, isn't it? The stereotypical UFO, you know, and there's still the question of like, why would a UFO need lights? Well, you know, I don't know. Like, the answer is I don't know, and not many people do know. Maybe people have their theories, but basically what I'm trying to say is so many sightings of these UFOs, and they have lights. Let's just forget about that. These UFOs have lights. Whether they need them, they don't need them. Whether they're trying to look more human-like, or it's a message of some sort. Whatever. They have lights. Let's get over it, shall we? So this interview here, this next interview with this lady, when I listened to this, it just blew my mind. She's talking about an ET talking to her about the human race, okay, and Earth. It's absolutely crazy. And again, whether you believe it or not, just listen to this. It's phenomenal.
And the ETs say, this is most amazing because they don't forget. They said, you're the only planet that forgets when they come in, have to find their way back. And I asked them one time when we were doing the sessions, why this happens. Wouldn't it be better if we remembered our contracts, if we remembered our plan of what we were supposed to be doing? They said it wouldn't be a test if you knew the answers. But this is the hardest school in the universe.
But what's their test then?
They've already done it. They have much easier lives than we do. This is the most challenging planet in the universe. You come here, you come prepared to really learn a lot, and it's very, very difficult. Not everybody chooses to come here.
So are you saying our future lives possibly could be on other planets where you don't need to go through such tough challenges?
You've already been on them before anyway.
So why would a soul want to come de-evolve then if it's coming here? Is it de-evolving
No, it's not.
coming
It's
here,
just
or?
a different form. We learn a lot by coming here because it is so challenging. There's so much you have to learn that it's very hard. They said they greatly admire anyone who takes on the Earth's challenge.
What? It's just like what I took from that, or what I think that maybe what the test is a test of spiritual growth. And this might be, you know, I might be a little bit biased at the moment because I'm going through this spiritual sort of journey. But I think that because there is such a battle of good versus evil on this planet, right? It's so much division, so much divide, so much temptation. I think that's what they may be referring to, right? If you can go to this planet that is just, it's left or right, black or white, yes or no, this just is such a divide. Temptation every single place that you look. And if you can get through that with a clear soul, a pure soul, come the end of it, you've passed that test, maybe. And maybe that is why aliens, ETs, UFOs, we're seeing this now. Maybe that is them overwatching, just going, how are they doing this? All this war, destruction, like hate, evil. And they're here and they're choosing to do this. It's fascinating. Our planet is just love and light and beauty. Maybe that's why they're watching. Or she's batshit crazy. Before we go into looking into like the UFOs and the alien footage again, but this one again is fantastic. Let's watch it and let's talk about it.
Right here is where this flying saucer, this UFO landed. There was a hatchway opening up in the top of it, just like the trunk of your car. And in there stood a little man holding up a jug, and he motioned he wanted to drink. He motioned for water. So I went to the basement to get this water, and then I looked up and I handed the jug up with both hands, and he gave me a salute with the back of his hand, a gesture of thanks, I presume. Well, I gave him my salute. What am I going to do? I noticed this little man, same size of a man, right beside the right side of the hatchway, cooking these pancakes. I pointed to him and made a gesture like eating. He didn't say a word. He just reached over and he got a handful of them, 4 of them, and he handed them down to me. And they were hot and greasy. If that was their food, God help them, because I took a bite of one of them and it tasted like a piece of cardboard. And if that's what they lived on, no wonder they're small.
What gets me is like, what is he gaining from any of this? The only thing that he's getting from it is potential ridicule and alienation from his, like, excuse the pun, from his family members or, you know, his village, city, wherever, town, wherever he's from. He's got no gain from this, I wouldn't imagine. And he seems so genuine. These are literally stories of being like in contact with an alien or a UFO. It's absolutely crazy. Way before you're going to get anything from it, like monetary value from this. I just thought that was such an amazing story. Now let's check out this video, which is a classic UFO over in Germany in 1993. This is amazing. Again.
Der UFO. Schau nach UFO. UFO.
Told you, right? That's crazy, and that seems so real, so genuine. And there was a couple of things about that. It's glowing up, right? And I remember listening to an interview of Boyd Bushman, right? Alien and UFO Week Day 1. I did a video on it, and it was him. It's basically the confession, right? And he mentioned in that confession that when UFOs are about to shoot off, they glow up. And that thing was glowing up like crazy. And there was another thing that I saw on the close-up at the top, it almost seemed like orbs, white orbs spinning or pulsating or doing something, or it was either a light flashing on top, but it seemed like it was rotating, like maybe 2 or 3 orbs rotating at the top of it. You know, go back and check it out. Now, I interviewed somebody a couple of months ago called John Stewart, and he dedicated like 30 years of his life into finding out about the alien interview, whether it was real or fake. It was an amazing podcast, and one of the things that I asked him on there was, why do these aliens have black eyes? And he went back and forth a little bit, and he was saying, like, why not? Why, how do we know what aliens look like? Why don't they have black eyes? But there was one thing that he said on there, was that aliens have their cap. They're not actually their eyes. They're caps, almost like sunglasses that they put over their eyes. Now, this next video also shows you their caps or their black eye caps being removed. It's quite icky, so if you haven't got a great stomach, please look away. But I also asked ChatGPT, where is this idea, why is this idea going around that aliens, these grey aliens, have black eyes? One popular theory suggests the greys evolved on a planet with low light levels, such as one with a dim sun or a thick atmosphere. Larger eyes with expanded pupils would help them see better in the dark, similar to nocturnal animals on Earth, e.g. owls and cats. Proactive or artificial lenses. Some theories propose that the black appearance of their eyes is due to external covering, like protective lenses or even biomechanical implants. These would serve various purposes: reducing exposure to bright light, enhancing vision, infrared, ultraviolet, or X-ray sight, acting as a biological interface HUD, like augmented reality, a bit like Terminator, how he sees things. The idea is something reinforced by claims from alleged alien abductees who describe greys removing their black eye coverings to reveal more normal eyes underneath. Physiological impact. Aesthetic design by the greys. If greys are bioengineering or genetically altering beings, their large dark eyes may be intentionally designed to appear non-threatening or hypnotic. Some abductees report feeling trance-like or paralyzed when looking into their eyes, leading to speculation that their eyes could be used for psychological control or telepathic influence. Now look at this. So the Roswell 1947 ET retrieved. What do you think? That is pretty darn freaky. And I know, blurry, black and white, I get it, but there's still something about it that is pretty darn freaky. When that cap was removed and you saw how real-like that eye was. Now, one theory is that obviously ETs are watching over us. A lot of them are around nuclear power plants, things like that. Now, it could be that, we've got more surveillance around those particular areas. This is why we capture them more, as Nick Pope said in the interview that I had with him. But yeah, one theory is that these ETs, these UFOs, these orbs are actually trying to help us, protect us from blowing up our own planet. This video here is a orb taking down some sort of missile with a laser. It's an amazing footage if it's real. It doesn't seem fake. I don't think it's been debunked yet. There's a lot of speculation. It's from movies, but it's like people saying it's from a movie. What movie? No one's saying what movie it's from. Okay? So what do you think? Now I have to say, that UFO looked very similar, especially when it went straight on like that on the camera. It looked very similar to the one we just saw in Japan. What do you reckon? South Africa 2003, one of the clearest UFO videos I think ever. Look at this. What? They just disappeared, mate. Remember, this is before AI. And I know that these things can be done, but come on. That looked so legit. And boom, gone in an instant. And it was shaped very similar to what John Lennon said, right? Anyway, that's amazing. So that was the 10 UFO, alien, and interview videos, mate. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye, mate.